Hello, everybody, and welcome to the OZone. That was Usain Bolt, Usain, sometimes we call him, winning his third gold medal at an Olympics for the 100 meters, which may be most impressive out of maybe anybody because realistically, dude, no sprinters ever win more than one Olympics. 2 is stretching it. 3 is just like you started when you're 15 years old. Something's going on.
Right.
I am so impressed. I'm your host, Omar Miller. I'm here with my brother,
Terry Miller, the Icons.
There it is. Let's fire it up. So the Olympics are over. Boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about here. Unbelievable.
Great Olympics.
Great Olympics, but nobody watched it.
Yeah, well, what can you do?
What do you think about that? How can we get people interested in watching the Olympics, and why? Tell me why you think that people didn't want to watch the Olympics this year.
I think because there's a 4-year break.
There's always been a 4-year break. It's not a new format.
Yeah, but that's what they need. They need a new format because today's society now can't wait 4 years. It's like waiting for The Walking Dead. I can't wait 6 months. I need to see what's happening, man. Negan's on the scene cracking heads. I needed to see that the next week. I didn't need to see that 9 months later. Come on, dude.
Man, you
right?
know, I work with my man Abraham. I know my man Abraham, Michael Kudlitz.
Did he give you anything?
I can't let you know
come
about
on.
that Walking Dead.
Come on now, Negan, we got him.
And so, so nobody watches the Olympics, despite some very good competition.
Great competition.
Even
though the Russians weren't there.
Hey, they were there at some points, but I mean, your man. Truthfully, who's your favorite Olympic athlete
Of all time, or just
just these Olympics.
Bolt.
Yeah, he's electrifying.
Yeah, not only that though, he keeps it 100 because he was talking about how he tried to turn the burner zone. That he's getting older and he just doesn't have it anymore.
He doesn't have the same burner.
Yeah, he doesn't have the 6 gear. He still have 5 years. He doesn't have that 6.
Drop it in, chirp out on you. And now you're talking to somebody now who's extremely fast himself. This is why this Usain Bolt performance was so impressive to me.
Right.
You can't hawk. It is just you just can't hawk a world-class sprinter.
No.
When they get a couple yards out in front of you.
A couple yards is like,
are you crazy?
A whole football field almost to a normal person.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to catch him.
Justin Gatlin was way out. There wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like
Now, how do you feel if you're Justin Gatlin?
You feel like a winner. What can you do? You lost to the fastest man
ever
in the history of manhood.
That we know about.
Yeah. There's no documentation of a human running faster than that.
Right.
Except for when he's on Sherm running from the LAPD.
And he's butt naked.
Dude,
put your clothes on.
Aerodynamic. And get some shoes. No cleats. That's a bare foot.
And then after he wakes up, he's got glass and everything.
And he ate somebody. He bath salt. So he's sharp.
Come on, man.
I mean, I was so impressed. Unfortunately, my man Bolt is dealing with some downside of this, the downside of fame. You see these pictures that just came out of my man?
What did they do to him? They got him.
They got him. He got himself, some would say, but they got him.
What did he do?
Young Usain had some pictures released with him and a young lady that was not his girlfriend in the bed.
Well, that's
not of a lewd variety, but just
but still,
people all in this business. I mean, the young man's trying to celebrate. Why don't you let him breathe?
How old is Bolt?
He just turned 30. I think he was just balling out with some babes in London. When he turned 30.
I'm sure that his girl probably already knows that Bolt likes the ladies.
I think that his girl is just, maybe that was his girl, and everybody just got a bad picture. Maybe it was a bad angle.
Yeah, maybe. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
He's innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
He is. He is. Now let's look at this final medal count. In third place, we have Great Britain at 67. Second place, China at 70. And in first place, we've made America great again, folks. 121 medals at the Olympics, none of them for academic scholastic purposes. But we kicked ass, we took names, and the Olympics once again was a great showcase. I tell you, Bolt is who I love watching, but when I just think about it from an athletic perspective, this guy that just did the repeat on the decathlon, you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not familiar with the guy's work, but the decathlon just sounds tiring. Just speaking on it, I'm tired, dude.
Come on, dude. This guy,
real.
He's an American, Ashton Eaton, and he repeated. This literally means he's the best athlete in the world. It's 10 events, the decathlon.
Right.
10 events and 10 grueling events. Not like,
Yeah.
This isn't like a, you know what I mean? This isn't like you run, you jog or something like that. Yeah, no. This is grueling work. Very impressed with this young man. And this leads me to talk about the big story that happened off of the field of competition, which is Lochte Gate.
The Loch Ness Monster.
Ryan,
What are you doing? What are you doing, B?
Ryan, you're giving me great white privilege right now.
He gave you a lot of that.
What are you doing?
Oh, kids will be kids. Come on.
Hey, what would have happened if Simone Biles would have done it?
Let's drag her behind the
String her up.
Let's drag her all the way back to the USA.
She didn't represent the USA. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it wasn't
unbelievable.
Right.
This guy, right. I had big love to Al Roker for calling a spade, if
yeah.
you will, because he went off on Billy Bush the other day when Billy Bush kept trying to dumb it down. I mean, these guys lied. And this guy lied. It wasn't even these guys. And he gave you terrible leadership because, and you know what I thought? When I kept hearing all the details, I was like, this can't be, something's not right.
And it didn't seem right to me because there wasn't any reason to do that. I mean, it wasn't that kind of serious offense. I recognize that you messed up and got smashed or whatever. Okay, so pay these people their dough and keep it pushing. But I don't understand where the robbery comes in. A gun to my head and, too far.
This is such a stain, in my opinion, on Americans and our culture because this is what we do when we get in trouble. And I'm guilty of it as well. It's just an American thing.
We blame.
We blame. We deflect. And we deflect without conscience of what that effect will be on something else. I'm really happy, and I'm all for the Brazilian authorities that actually made a big deal out of this. Because as the way it stood, I mean, he got his mom involved in the lie and everything. The way it stood, Ryan Lochte got robbed at gunpoint by some rogue, dark black men from the favela who were posing as. Right. All right, I lied. I didn't say they didn't say they were dark black. I assumed that, but from some guys that were faking as cops.
Right.
Now, his mom was really nervous and concerned and blah blah blah. Well, Ryan Lochte got on a plane and shook rocks. He got back to the States.
He's double dirty because he left his boys there.
Why that is me, that's the biggest offense.
Come on, man. He left his boys.
And he's 32. These kids are 20 years old, man. He's supposed to be the leader.
Yeah.
And truth be told,
he let them out of the country. I'm gone.
He gave them to Moses. He let them he didn't lead them to the promised land. But you know what? I don't know, man. It's just unfortunate because this dude had no regard for his teammates. It was all about saving selfish. His own hide.
Yeah.
And then he made up a ridiculous story. You know what, folks? If you decide to lie about something, go ahead, lie. Handle your business. Don't make yourself a full-blown hero. You can't go over the top because in his account, he was the total hero.
Yeah.
Well,
he went Bourne on him.
Yes. He went Jason Bourne.
Well, the dude put it to my head. I karate chopped him and flipped him over my shoulder.
And I was like, whatever.
I'm not getting on my knees. I'm not getting down. Whatever. For those who know, you do whatever they say when they got a gun on you.
What are you going to do? You're going to be a tough guy?
Yeah. Follow the rules, which they said in line.
Come on, man. It was...
It's very disappointing.
I mean, very disappointing. And he's losing big money behind this.
Yeah, but the money issue is can he go outside? And
right.
That's where he really hurts because when you go outside, people look at you like, oh, dude, that dude... Oh, Lochte? Don't invite him, man.
I don't know, though, because, see, in America, this is the part that's twisted up about America. Because in America, people might actually be like, hey, Ryan, what's up, dude? Hey, man, that's Ryan Lochte, dude. He's the best swimmer ever besides Michael Phelps. And
speaking of Michael Phelps, though.
Success covers a multitude of sins. It's just mind-blowing to me. It's mind-blowing what you can get away with as long as you're successful. Our society really has to check itself for this.
But you know how happy Michael Phelps had to be that he didn't go out with those guys, man?
Oh, dude.
Are you kidding?
Because he had the chance, and he was probably like, nah, I'm cool.
Dude, you guys go ahead.
I'm at the crib, man. I got it. Man, my bag is already too heavy. I got too much gold in my bag, man.
Right. And this dude, man, really let these kids down the wrong path.
He did that.
Yeah.
Why do you got to rock star at the gas station? Pull over. If you got to take a piss, pull over and take a piss. I'm
sure there's a lot of places you can take
on a bush,
yeah.
Like everybody else does, like every other man that's listening to this podcast has ever done, and some of the women.
Right.
They can go take a piss. If you got to take a dump, that sucks, but you got to do it. You got to go.
Grab corn cob.
Do some, whoa. You got to do something. But then don't sit around and lie. And why do you break the door and break the window? And why do you go Hulk? Why do you got to go Incredible Hulk on the gas station?
Just ransack the place, man.
And the thing is, these people have done everything they can to put their best face forward for the world.
Spent a lot of money.
And they spent a lot of money, and they actually rounded up a lot of criminals, people that they thought would be engaged in criminal behavior. Obviously, we know it's a second world kind of country, but they're doing what they can. They're doing the best that they can. So the last thing they need is another black eye from a privileged American with a crazy haircut and hair color who decided to save face because he took a piss and decided to rock star a gas station bathroom.
Now, let me ask you this. The guy had blonde hair before. Do you think that his people behind the scenes told him to dye his hair back to make him look more, appeasing for the camera now?
You know what I think that was? I don't think so. I think that Ryan Lochte does a lot of what is of interest to Ryan Lochte. And I think that hair thing was of interest to him. I think partially what it is it differentiates him from Michael Phelps. The fact of the matter is that Ryan Lochte isn't as famous as Michael Phelps. He is now, but he's infamous. Yeah. But he is in a position where, he's in a tricky situation where he's actually great. He's a great swimmer. There's no two ways about that.
Doesn't sound like a good person though, right?
I can't really call it. I don't know him like that. This is, if you put the microscope on anybody on their worst moment, they're not going to seem like a good person. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, what I'm saying is that I think he puts the hair dye on so that he can stand out in his own way on Team USA Olympic swimming squad, as opposed to, just being one of the other guys on the team other than Michael Phelps. I don't know any of those guys' names.
Sure don't.
And Ryan Lochte was the one that threw up the grill in London and now here. You know what I mean? He's done a good job of capturing popular, he's done a really good job of capturing popular culture and putting that as his identification more so than even the swimming,
Do they have a Olympic video game? I remember back in the day, used to have remember they had the little pad that you could run on and run track.
Oh, the power pad. Are you crazy?
Yeah,
the power pad probably kept me from getting diabetes.
Stage one or which one? Stage what?
Not stage. It's type.
Type.
Type 2.
Type 2.
Type 2. I flew a lot of sugary drinks as a young man. I did. And so there was a lot of that going down. And I think that power pad helped me out. I had to work so many weekends to get my power pad. Oh, my goodness.
That was unbelievable. I love
that. That was incredible technology.
Yeah.
You had to literally run.
You did.
You had to play the Olympics. You did. You could play the Olympics. You could sprint. You could do the shot put. You could do all kind of stuff.
Long jump thing too, right?
You could do the long jump. Yeah, that was man. I wonder why that's not popular now. Huh. Note to Nintendo. Yeah, no, but it's a very, very interesting thing. I think it put a stain on the whole of the Olympics because it was just unnecessary. And now you look at the fallout. Come on, man. This guy's losing potentially tens of millions of dollars worth of endorsements behind this.
Right.
What company wants to be affiliated with a person of this sort of character?
He's like the Joker.
Yeah. What is that? You don't want to be a part of that. You don't want to be a part of none of that. But you do want to be a part of the Olympics. You want to be a part of the closing ceremony. I mean, they really went all out. Me personally, I've been to Rio a few times. I don't really need to go back again, although I feel like everybody in the world should go to Carnival at least once. And I went in Rio where it was fantastic. Just dancing in the streets and caipirinhas and, just a
you said they had good food.
Oh, man, great food. Just a great attitude. Right? Yeah. The beef is way right. No mad cow in Brazil. This is dead right. And people have the churrascaria, like the fogo de chão kind of thing, at their house.
Yeah.
People have that skewered kind of meat turner, that barbecue at the house, and they salt you down. Woo-wee. I might need to jump back. Maybe I do need to go back. But, yeah, overall, great Olympics. I just wish that, from my perspective, tarnished, definitely.
We can cut him out, though. Just cut that part out.
Cut that part out. Let's remember the good times. Let's remember all of the championships. I thought that Allison Felix played it really well when that girl bumped her because I thought they just dropped the baton. I didn't know that that there was some interference. And she did her protest exactly by the book. I think that everybody balled. The U.S. Olympics gymnastics squad balled.
Forget about them.
The basketball team, I don't even think we need to speak on the basketball team. This is it's a joke. I was really surprised because Carmelo made big headlines with his speech. Let's see if we can get a little bit of Carmelo's speech.
Despite everything that's going on right now in our country, we got to be united. And I'm glad I did what I did. I stepped up to the challenge. But this is what it's about. And representing our country on the biggest stage that you can be on. America will be great again. I believe that. We got a lot of work to do, but it's one step at a time. And I'm glad we represented it in the fashion that we did. So.
That's Carmelo Anthony there after winning the gold medal with the U.S. men's basketball team. People were really responded to that speech, and I thought it was beautiful what he said. He didn't go into it, but he implied that we have a lot of problems, a lot of tension here in the States, and we do. And as an athlete, he's done a lot this summer to really step up with the way that he started, kicked off the ESPYs with LeBron and Chris Paul, and they did the thing, and then you have him making a speech. I think it's great. The only problem I have here is I don't know what challenge it was that he stepped up to, because I don't know what challenge it is that the U.S. men's basketball team actually faces, other than actually showing up to the game on time in between having a great time out in Rio,
right,
and living on their boat outside of Olympic Village. I don't know what that challenge is, really. He's now the most decorated men's basketball player to ever play. He has 3 Olympic golds. He leads the Olympics in all-time scoring. To me, those numbers are meaningless.
But they're not meaningless to him, though,
and that's what matters.
And that's the problem, though. I think that people are having because he's losing. Somebody needs to pull focus on it because he doesn't understand that he needs NBA championship, not the Olympics.
He doesn't.
Where you beat up on pretty much college
subpar competition. You're beating up on subpar competition. I mean, at no point did these guys play their best basketball. This is something that I loved about the original Dream Team, which we'll just call the real Dream Team. Mm-hmm. They pounded you into submission.
Right.
These guys were always at their best. You're talking about the most competitive guys in the history of basketball, probably, and they constantly pounded you. And I don't know. Like I said, I'm all for the Olympics. Go USA. But in this situation, they got to do something to make it more competitive. First and foremost, let's see all the games live. NBC, whoever buys the rights to the next Olympics, dead this whole tape delay scenario for the West Coast. Right. I understand that 3/4 of the population of the United States lives in the Eastern time zone. But at the same time, if I'm on the West Coast, I shouldn't be penalized for that. And I can, if it's going to be tape delayed, that means it can be tape delayed till whenever. So then give me live as an option.
Right.
I don't get it.
I guess they feel that the live streaming is an option, though.
Yeah, but I want live on my tube.
Hook it up to the HDMI, dude.
I know, man. It's just a lot of work.
So basically, you're confessing to being lazy.
Yeah. That's why I'm paying my money for them to hook it up. If I wanted to do that shit, I would get on the roof with my antenna and hold it up and go run some cable over the Atlantic and set all my own shit up. I don't want to do that, so that's why I'm here.
That's why you want the hookup.
That's why I need the hookup. Let me see. I just want to see.
I think with the basketball, though, what they could do is to let them put an all-star team together by regions, maybe. You can get let the Serbians and maybe the Turkish players, something like that.
Well, but you know what? That doesn't make any sense because it's about
it doesn't. But
pride.
I'm just talking about making it competitive because otherwise, there's never going to be a reason to even watch the basketball. I've never watched the Olympics.
No.
What for? The outcome.
And when the games are close, it's always like, why is the game close? You guys,
right.
You guys weren't serious today.
You guys weren't serious. What did you do last night?
Yeah, because you're not. There's nobody who should be able to run with this collective at all ever.
Come on.
Your boy Harrison Barnes caught a lot of flack.
Why?
Because he didn't play. I don't know what happened between him and Mike Krzyzewski, but he rode a lot of pine and picked up his medal and his max deal with Dallas. Harrison is laughing all the way to the bank and to the goldsmith, whoever that is.
Yeah, but why did you even need a coach?
In theory, but you don't want to disrespect the game. They should have a coach. What are you
going to
do? You want them to call their own fouls too? It's not the park.
I know, but it should be.
Why should
it's not competitive. It's not. The
park is very competitive.
The park is competitive, but not.
There's a lot of parks in the United States that will be more competitive than these Olympics.
I agree. I mean, because this is ridiculous. What did they do to Serbia for the gold? I mean, come on, dude. Makes no sense.
You sound like you're going to vomit right now. Are you okay?
I am. I just watched some Kobe highlights. That last game.
Oh, 60 points on your nose. On your nose. Oh, you know what else is on your nose?
What?
It's the 5-4 Club. And it's on your head, and it'll be on your back and legs if you let it. You go over to 54club.com, and you can sign up right now to have a professionally curated wardrobe delivered to your door every month for only $60 a month. And you're sporting yours now. Ernie, our engineer, is sporting it. I got my 5-4 jacket here. I mean, it's hard to beat, guys. You guys don't want to shop, but you want to look good. You want the ladies to notice you. Go ahead and go over to 54club.com, sign up, use promo code Omar, and let them know you're listening. 54 Club, look good, be good. Oh, boy. Moving on. How about that MMA action this weekend? Did you catch the fight?
Yeah, I actually did. It was a bloodbath.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I felt like it's a situation where, unfortunately, I think that blood causes a lot of confusion about who wins, and it can really, people are visual, the referees included, and when you see that blood, you see a guy open up and give you the Jerry Cooney, you're thinking that guy is losing.
Now riddle me this, Batman: do they score by the round in the MMA?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you submitted before he started leaking like that, if you submitted
he started leaking in the first round.
Yeah, but before it turned into a blood transfusion.
But yeah, I mean, Nate was out there leaking. That's got to take a long time to recover.
You think? I don't know. He's a professional athlete.
He is, but I mean, he's gonna keep getting all this scar tissue around his face and all this.
No, he probably got plastic surgery already.
Just recently?
Yeah. Usually those guys that get beat up like that, they get plastic surgery. Remember when Klitschko fought your boy?
Lennox Lewis?
Yeah.
And he cut his head open with his braids?
Yes, with his braids, with the razor blades in his braids.
He did. He did. And I'm down with Lennox, actually.
Yeah.
But everybody tried to act like that was a punch. That was not a punch.
That was not a punch.
He opened up his head with his braids with the Predator.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. We got a caller in here. First time caller.
Oh, really? Who is it?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Rican Train.
Tito.
What's going on, big
Joe Nieves, live in the Ozone.
Oh,
He's an actor. Baby. He's a sports fan. He is also
an athlete.
He's an athlete without question.
Yeah.
He's a father. He's a son. He's a brother. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Nieves, star of... Lay it on him, Joe. Tell him what you're on now.
Stuck in the middle on the Disney Channel playing Tom Diaz, father of 7.
Wow. Stuck in the middle with you. You're over there. What up, Tito? How you been?
Not much. I've been taking care of babies.
I know. Good for you. You got one. Right? You got Rocco over there. You got Adelaide over there. You're doing good. You're living well. God bless you, Joe. He really does. But I want to get your take on this Conor McGregor-Nate Diaz fight. The fans want to know, how does everybody feel about it? I didn't catch the fight, and I saw a lot of highlights, and I saw a lot of running from Conor McGregor. I saw some pretty accurate punching, which I was surprised about. But then you could see the weight difference, it seemed, when Nate Diaz would land against him, because Nate's punches seemed super heavy. Tell me how you saw the fight.
So here's the thing. So I'm a big Conor McGregor fan. I'm a huge Diaz brothers fan. Nate and Nick are two of my favorite fighters. These guys don't back down. These guys just come forward all day long. And what we don't know, what a lot of people don't know about these guys is these guys, Nate and Nick, on the ground, better than anybody. If you're on the ground with Nate and Nick, you're getting choked out, you're going to sleep, or your arm's breaking, something's happening.
Ooh.
But they like to stand up. They like to just stand up and trade punches with you. That's what they like to do. They love to fight. Exciting fights to watch. Now, Conor has been referred to as the Irish Diaz brother.
Oh, wow.
He loves to fight too. Now, Conor can't get on the ground with Nate. We saw that in the first fight.
Right. That went the wrong way for him.
No shot
right.
at all.
Then let's just talk off the top. I have to say, I'm pretty impressed that Conor McGregor took the fight again at the higher weight class just to avenge the situation. And I also, throughout this whole hype session, I have definitely accoladed and supported his view that he needed time to actually train and not just run around the world promoting the fight and then get beat up and choked out. So, sorry.
And
that was my 2 cents.
And how impressive that he did the work. And how impressive that, because you watched that first fight. Going into the second fight, I said there's no way he could do anything to beat Nate Diaz.
That's exactly how I felt. That's exactly and that's part of the reason I didn't watch the fight is because I anticipated a second or third round submission again because they have weight classes for a reason. And after seeing the cocky nature of McGregor's style, I didn't think that he would be humble enough to actually work on something to beat him, and it looks like he did.
Yep. Because that's what he wants to be the best, and he talks a good game. And usually those guys don't show up. Guys that talk like that.
You're right.
But he knows how to sell a fight. He just made them vote a shitload of money for number 3. Tell you that much.
Yeah. Because everybody wants to see number 3, right? You're down to watch number 3. Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. But here's the problem now. What I love about the Diaz brothers, they love to fight, but I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb here. A lot of people aren't going to like this that are into the fight game, but I don't know if that's Cesar Gracie camp where they both come from, if they're good at adapting game plans to the second fight and the third fight. I don't know if they're going to get Nate to get off that lead foot and to not give up those leg kicks, because that's what did him in.
He got chopped down. That's what I did see in the fight. Conor chopped him down early, and you know what? McGregor had to be thinking to himself, fantastic. This guy literally is not adjusting, and he's letting me beat the crap out of his legs. And eventually, as long as I don't get knocked out, I should win this fight. Now, do you think, real quick, do you think he actually won the fight? That's my question.
It's you know what? I don't think anybody won the fight. I don't think anybody won
You
the
thought
fight.
it was a draw. This is everybody that I've spoken to about it, most of the UFC aficionados, MMA aficionados that I know, either felt like it was a draw or Diaz won just based on ring generalship, because they said there was a lot of, they said that McGregor was on his bicycle.
He got on his horse, man. McGregor was running a little bit when I watched it.
It was. And that's the only way. That's the only way you beat the Diaz brothers. If you counterpunch and if you walk backwards and let them come at you, that's the only way you beat them. McGregor wins round 1, right? McGregor wins round 1. Round 2, it could have gone either way. Round 3 could have gone either way.
Oh, see, now round 3 was when I heard definitely went to Diaz.
Yeah, I saw
saying.
round 3. I went with Diaz.
Yeah, everybody I know said round 3 was like a definite. Everybody that I know said round 2 could have went either way, could have been a draw, and round 3 is when the fight changed.
Now, what about all the blood? Do you think that has a lot to do with it, with the scoring?
With the scoring?
You like to think it doesn't, because it shouldn't. It certainly shouldn't.
But they're people, you know?
Yeah, no, but if they're judging MMA fights, if they've seen this for 20 years, they know that sometimes guys just bleed if they're not bad cut. You know what I mean? So it shouldn't. The fact that, like you said, that Nate was controlling the ring, but bringing it wherever he wants it should count. The fact that he got that takedown, I think it was the end of round 3 or round 4, one of them.
And they said he definitely won round 5, right?
Yeah.
They said round 5.
Yeah.
He almost got
Conor
him
was
down
just
again.
literally just like hanging on for dear life, basically.
He hit him with a
So
couple
it
of good
could have been
shots.
4-1 or 3-2 for either fighter, I think. Each round was so close, I think, except for that first round.
Another scenario where, now we talk about this on the OZone a lot, and I know one thing I loved about Tito here is that he knows his sports and he knows his boxing, and he knows his Madden.
He knows his Madden.
And I spent many late nights with this man on the line here, watching his beard grow overnight. Joe has a Wolfman quality to him that I've always been jealous of. He can come over cleanly shaven, and by the time we get done playing Madden overnight, he has a full-blown Santa Claus beard. Total Duck Dynasty. But what I was going to say, one thing we talk about a lot here on the OZone is boxing is really clipping its own wings nowadays with the suspect, with the suspect judgments and everything. I would say this is the first time in a long time that you don't know who the clear winner of a UFC fight is. And this is one of the things UFC has been able to do, is that they've been able to
stay away from that.
They've been able to stay away from any controversial endings because the one guy taps out or he has a broken leg or whatever it is. Now, in this situation, one thing that UFC has done to quell that is that they have an odd number of rounds, which is great.
Right.
Why?
Right.
How are you supposed to? It's common sense.
12 rounds. Yeah.
Why is it 12 rounds? It doesn't.
And 12 rounds with no even rounds.
12 rounds with no even rounds. This is the dumbest thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's the most foolish thing in the world. I just don't understand, and I think that boxing really needs to do some evaluation. They got stuff. They need to do a lot. Now, by any chance, did you watch this dynamite kid out of Michigan, Earl Spence, this weekend?
No.
Man, there's a kid that's a welterweight I go out on a limb and call him great. This kid is great. Now I'm talking about,
I haven't seen him either.
Oh man, you guys do yourself a favor. Go look up Earl Spence Jr. ERROLL, the old spelling of Earl.
Earl Flynn.
And it might even be Earl Scheib. But yeah, no, he'll give you a quick paint job for $57, and then he'll knock you out by round 6. This kid is legit. I'm telling you. And he's fighting this weekend. He fought on that PBC on NBC. You know that where they put it on regular TV.
I just seen that Coney Island. They fought on Coney Island.
Yeah, yep, and that's where it was. They fought on Coney Island, and it was right after an Olympics coverage, so they had crazy numbers, and they introduced this kid to a lot of people, and it's that boxing marketing super genius Al Heyman that's behind it. All of the fights that have been letdowns, from Pacquiao and Mayweather to even the end of the Mike Tyson era, this is when they started really robbing people and taking the pay-per-view money and charging you big money, and then you don't deliver. This gave the UFC that window for Dana White and his compatriots to then build what they built and then sell it for a truckload of money. Now what boxing, in my opinion, has to do is they have to figure out how to make people fight who they are supposed to fight.
Instead of having all these camps and you have a stable and all these guys in your stable.
Yeah. Did you see this news, Tito?
You get one good fight. You get 1 or 2 good fights a year. UFC, you get 9 good fights every month.
Every month.
Here's the great Nate Diaz record is 19-11.
There you go.
Imagine
and you have no
19-11.
less respect for Nate Diaz than you do anybody that's undefeated in boxing.
Right. If you have 11 losses in boxing, forget about it.
You're a bum.
Yeah, no, you're gone. But after your second loss, I mean, you don't get 11 loss in boxing.
Yeah, you
You don't get 11.
It's true, and this is a problem though, because the sport the sport was pretty much hijacked by Floyd Mayweather, and for a certain period to make people believe in this imaginary importance of an undefeated record, and now, as they say, the game is twisted. Because,
right, and watching fights without a fight.
Yeah, and now you're looking at this fight. Did you guys see this dispute now that HBO is backing off of Manny Pacquiao's Jesse Vargas fight?
No, I didn't see that.
No.
They literally are not airing the fight, and so now Bob Arum is very upset, and he's saying he might take it. He's saying he might take it independent or to other channels to distribute, because he's saying it's a breach of contract, yada yada. And he basically said that in their contract, it stipulates that the opponents have to be agreed upon, not the date. I guess HBO's having a hard time with the date because they want him to fight a certain distance between the Kovalev-Ward fight that's coming up and the Pacquiao fight. And so HBO just said, oh, we're not going to air it. This kind of stuff, in general, this is another black eye to the sport, you know?
It's poison.
Let me ask you something. So I know you guys hang out with a lot of pro athletes. Now, in that world, is there a problem with good athletes becoming boxers these days? With good athletes becoming football players these days because of what's happening in both those sports, because of injuries in football, because of MMA now? Are the better athletes going to basketball and MMA now?
I would say this: boxing, MMA are sports that you do out of necessity. And usually these are sports that guys do when they don't have any other options.
Right.
It's not like how like we had our Beverly Hills Yankees team. It's not like it's not
The good old days.
Tito. It's not like
so I smoked cigarettes between innings. Big deal.
We didn't count on you to leg out any ground balls, but we knew your lungs weren't right at that point.
But you kicked the habit, though. You kicked the habit.
Kicked the habit.
Ran a marathon.
Ran a marathon. This guy,
man, it's unbelievable.
Joe's a prime example of a woman changing his life for the better.
Yeah.
And he's really become a fine young father.
Right.
A great family man. And you know what? I don't get to see Tito all that often, but I know it's for the best, because he's no longer smoking cigarettes and playing Madden all night. Now he's running marathons and watching UFC and raising some fine children.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, you look at it, this is a serious thing going on, because boxing is in my opinion, it's in a space where it could cannibalize itself. I think to continue with that answer, your guys that are all world athletes, they find something early that they're good at, and usually certain athletes can be good at every sport. Like guys who are good at football, depending on their position, will determine whether or not they're good at other sports. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for example, if you can just fly and you're just a really fast guy, you could be a DB or a safety. You don't even necessarily have to hit or anything like that.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that you could then in turn go play outfield for the Reds. That doesn't. But the other way around is probably true, because there's hand-eye, there's this, that, and the other. I think one thing that people would be surprised to know about with hanging out with all the professional athletes is the difference in conversation that they have in private about the results of all of these sporting events than what they get on and speak about in the public.
Yeah.
Right.
Because when you talk to guys on the one-on-one, they'll tell you the truth.
They'll tell you the truth.
And they'll tell you why it's the truth. They'll tell you why, man, I knew this was going to happen because this guy can't adjust. It's like how you're talking about adjusting to the ground game or doing, this, that, and the other with the UFC. These guys will tell you that, but for sponsorship or whatever reasons, they won't do that in public. And this is why we have the OZone.
So we can keep it 100.
And partial sports, Joe. We tell it how it is and how we think it should be. Telling you. Tito, tell me, how do you feel? How do you feel about the the Major League Baseball season? I know you've been working a lot. You probably don't have a lot of time.
You know what? It's for some reason I'm a Houston Astro fan.
Listen, I lobbied. If you remember, I went out to actually T-Bone Roney's wearing his Houston Astros hat right now, and the Astros are the hottest team in baseball, other than the Royals. To be honest,
the last few games. But here's what I want to know: what happened to Del Seifel? What happened to Colin McHugh? What happened to all those pitchers?
Well, the best pitchers that they have.
You got Altuve, Springer, and Correa. You should be,
Well, truth be told, those guys didn't do anything for the first part of the season either.
Right.
And that was the problem.
But you have Lance McCullers now, and that kid is coming off the shelf. You know, he's hurt right now, but when he comes back, he's their best pitcher.
Musgrove is good.
Musgrove is good.
What's up with Tycho?
Keuchel, I think, was smoking mirrors.
I think he was smoking mirrors. I think it had a lot to do with even though he shut down the Orioles yesterday.
Yeah, that's one time out of like 20 starts. You know, because what happens is that once they figure out his style or his release point or what the book is on him, then he's not the same pitcher anymore.
Yeah, and he doesn't have crazy stuff, Dallas Keuchel.
Yeah.
He had great placement. He didn't have like
electric
spots.
stuff.
He could hit his spots. So then what he found, what happened to him this season was if he didn't hit his spots, he got hit hard.
Yeah, McHugh's never been like an.
Yeah, McHugh's never been an elite pitcher.
He's like a,
he should be like a
journeyman.
He should be a solid 2 or 3. You know.
No. You're giving him love.
He's like a 4, maybe even a 5. Yeah, you're bleeding Astro Orange right now. You're bleeding Houston oil right now. I don't know what's going on.
No, McHugh is a 4 or a 5 at 4.
But let me tell you something. The top 5 of that lineup can bang with anybody in baseball because that kid Alex Bregman they brought up is confident and he's swinging the stick.
Yeah, Correa.
George Springer's almost a 5. He's probably a 4-tool guy.
He just needs to get his average up. Yeah.
Correa's got crazy pop, and Jose Altuve is the best hitter in baseball. Yeah,
him and Mookie Betts. I mean, you can take your pick. Who do you think going to win MVP? Him or Mookie?
It depends on where the Astros end up.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, but the guy's going to end up hitting 360 or something like that. That's insane.
He's got 20 home runs.
And 20 swipes.
Yeah. Well, Mookie Betts is not.
No, Mookie Betts is. I mean, even though he did it all in about a 3-game span, Mookie Betts hits 3 home runs a night for some reason. I don't know what that is, but he's a stud.
Yeah,
no 2 ways about it.
I love Altuve's game.
Our Dodgers are doing some stuff without pitching right now,
and it's smoke and mirrors, Joe. I hate to break it to you because this year I know so because these next 2 weeks are going to tell the story. They're going to tell the tale. And because the one thing that the Dodgers have done really well since Kershaw's gone down is they won games. But one thing that they've done really well is they had a bullpen. The big knock on them last year and the seasons before that is they didn't have a bullpen. Right. Well, this year they got their bullpen together. Guys are performing. I really applaud Dave Roberts on how he's managed the bullpen. But he overused them now because you started getting all of these injuries with the starters. Right. Now the bullpen's worn out, and you have to rely on these starters. I'm very terribly disappointed that Hyun-Jin Ryu isn't coming back, and he may be done in general.
I never expected anything from him anyway, though, because a shoulder injury is serious in baseball. You can get over the elbow, but the shoulder is serious business.
It is serious business. Yeah, and he was a really good pitcher. And so, but now. One thing the Dodgers,
Rich Hill, is he gonna pitch? Brandon McCarthy is done.
Yeah, Anderson's done. McCarthy's done.
I think they're gonna call out a kid. They're gonna call a kid up named Matthew Eisman from the Beverly Hills farm team. No. But what I was going to say is they've beat a lot of teams that they're supposed to beat. They had that one series out in Washington that was a surprise that they picked up. But you see, they ran into the Reds this past weekend, and the Reds were swinging it well, and they couldn't stop. They couldn't stop the Reds.
Yeah, and the Reds are going to hurt them for this series that's coming up because
the Reds are going to hurt them. And then besides that, now's when they have to play against the real teams.
Yeah.
Now they play against the Giants. Then they go to the Cubs. I think the Cubs might be coming here.
Yeah, the Cubs are coming here.
Yeah, this is serious business now. What do
you think about this? They went 100 games with nobody hitting, with Corey Seager hitting, and that's it.
It's unbelievable, right? And they went 100 games with nobody hitting.
Now these guys are starting to hit.
It's starting to hit.
Yeah, but good pitching stops all that hitting too.
Yeah, but at the same time, I got to give love to Dave Roberts because he got the lineup together.
Probably coach of the year.
And I would say he is a coach of the year, maybe other than John Farrell. I mean, I love the Red Sox. I've been calling the Red Sox since.
I know, but the Red Sox have talent. The Dodgers don't have talent like that.
They don't have it not like that.
No, and look at Puig. How long they tried to ride the Puig
train.
What
happened to Mr. Puig? What happened?
You haven't been listening to the OZone.
Oh man,
Young Yasiel. And you know what? And now they're trying to
give
him.
Is he ever going to turn around?
If he does, it won't be with the Dodgers. They're trying to give him away literally right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I turned him down. I didn't even want him, I didn't even want him to play with Beverly Hills. I was like, forget it, dude. We can't use it.
Liar.
Nobody can take Tito's spot.
You the one who got me smoking with music.
Hey, but you still led the league in no fast.
He led you down a dark path, Puig. He had you smoking in between innings. Oh, yeah, Joe. Yeah, man. So, you got the Puig situation. The bullpen's getting stretched, and you got no starters. Luckily, the greatest pitcher of all time is coming back this weekend, and he's going to hurt the league. He's going to do what he does. He's going to take down scores, and his ERA is going to be microscopic, and you can count on him. But, there's an element here, which is the like the Kobe Bryant element, where it seems like when Clayton Kershaw pitches and when he's available,
I know what you're going to say.
the team doesn't score. They watch the Clayton Kershaw show, just like how the Lakers.
It wasn't the case this season, all right. It wasn't the case this season, though.
No, they were giving him some run support this season, to be honest. But over the years, this is how it's been. Just like
without doubt.
You get caught up in like watching Kobe Bryant play, and consistently that Lakers squad was better when Kobe Bryant wasn't playing for the past few years. Like
because the whole team actually played,
and the team played as opposed to just watching the Kobe show. Now that's not that guy's fault per se, because he's trying to press the issue to make the team as good as he can. But I guess certain guys are just so mesmerizing. Don't get T-Bone started on Kobe.
Oh man. Don't even get me going on this dude, man.
Well, one of the things that we know you love so much is the JETS Jets.
Indeed.
Now, how do you feel about the prospects of the East Rutherford Jets coming in for the season?
Well, here's the thing. I'm shocked nobody else is talking about it. But the end of last season, they were the best team in the AFC. Now they lost to the Bills in the last game of the season because Rex just had to do that. But they won the last 5 before that, 4 in a row before that. Anyway, they were playing better football than anybody. The defense, is there a better defense in the AFC? It's arguable. The offense, some of the most weapons. You got Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker. We got Matt Forte, Bilal Powell. With the tight ends, we got with Jason Morrow. We got an offensive line. Fitzpatrick was serviceable, right?
Yeah, and well,
I feel like they gave him the raw deal.
Is Geno's jaw reset?
What's that?
Is Geno's jaw reset?
Gino's jaw's ready. Gino's jaw's ready.
Ready for another punch, or is ready to take the punch of the NFL?
What a mess. Gino, here's the thing. Gino had the starting job last year before his jaw broke.
Well, I know. And that's what made him talk slick. He was feeling good.
So what happens now? So now he's playing lousy in the preseason? Is that Bryce Petty's going to take his job at the number 2? That's insane.
Well, yeah, that's insane.
Right.
Jets fans will be incensed all over the tri-state area. I wonder about that AFC though. I mean,
it's open with the Patriots in their situation. It's open.
We still got to go with the Patriots. We still
have to go with the Patriots.
I don't know, man. I don't think so.
And the Broncos still got a crazy defense, by the way.
Yeah, but we're talking about
who's their
in that division.
No. Yeah, he was just saying in the AFC he's got a better defense.
Yeah, but when Tom Brady comes, he's going to light the league up.
He's going to be so mad. You make him sit and watch for 4 weeks.
Isn't he ever going to like that worse?
No, it never stops. When you got the clutch gene, he never wears out his clutch.
Now, right? They got another tight end like the old.
Yeah, they got the old style.
Yeah, they're running double tight ends,
which is a nightmare.
Yeah,
that's scary. Yeah,
like when they had Aaron Hernandez.
Oh,
yeah.
But I don't know. We got Matt Forte. We got we're looking good. Brandon Marshall. Come on.
Hey, I'm a big fan of Brandon Marshall. I feel like Brandon Marshall is completely underrated.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Matt Forte.
Isn't he? Right?
Yeah, I am not a fan of Eric Decker though.
I like Eric Decker is a great compliment to Marshall.
He's a great compliment to Marshall, but I feel like he gets love like he's the number one.
But sometimes he is the number one. They use Marshall as a decoy. I played a couple on FanDuel, and Eric Decker snuck up on you.
He's a bad one, but he's a great two.
Yeah,
he is a great. There you go, Joe. There it is. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. Oh, yeah. You got the look. So shout out to Prince for Joe, the artist. Yeah. Wow. So that's your take on it, huh? So you like them, you like them to take the division?
I do like that. Maybe
for some reason they seem like they go sometimes they go brain dead when they go down and they play in Miami. For some reason, what is that?
Well, it's the AFC. They all beat each other. They always beat each other. Jets beat the Patriots. Dolphins sometimes beat the Patriots. Bills swept us. That's the reason we don't win the playoffs because the Bills swept us last year. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, and I looked.
It's embarrassing. You're embarrassed.
I'm a big fan of Tyrod,
though. Rex is spiteful. Rex had to do it.
He had to do it.
Yeah, but Rex is a terrible coach.
I love Super Bowls.
There you go. Well, Joe, I'm so happy to reconnect, to have you on. Everybody, go out, support this man. Watch the show on the Disney Channel. If you got kids, you're gonna love it. If you have 7 kids, the show might be about you. It's called Stuck in the Middle on Disney. When can they catch it, Joe? When are you airing?
We start shooting again soon. It's Friday nights on the Disney Channel. The time has changed a few times, like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. It varies. But once we get back on the air, it'll straighten out again.
There you go.
Tito! Season 2 this week.
There you go. A friend of the Ozone. An
Very
absolute
good.
and total friend. Glad to have you, Joe. We'll see you soon.
Hey.
Indeed. Great to talk to you guys. Talk to you soon.
Late.
Yeah, so we're moving into football season. It's going down.
Yeah, it's going down.
Man.
Showtime.
It's serious business. You know what else we're moving into?
What?
I'm waiting on my shipment to come of Melissa's produce, that Melissa's Organic, those coconut clean snacks. Oh my goodness.
You're obsessed.
I'm telling you, evaporated cane sugar, quinoa. It's all positive things. It keeps you regular, crazy fiber.
Makes you feel
sweet,
good, huh?
Like a man. You guys run over to Melissa's Produce, or you can go to your local Gelson's or Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, wherever you get your healthy food. Go and put these Melissa's clean snacks, I'm telling you, on your grocery list. They're so good. You will not be mad. If you buy them and you don't like them, I'll buy them off of you. Just don't slobber on them. Oh, man. So football, man. You know, I've been catching a lot of fans on Ballers because, you know, it's almost football season. Everybody's doing their fantasy drafts coming up, and it's football's at a fever pitch. I mean, everybody's waiting. They can't wait just to get into some football.
Showtime, man.
It's showtime.
Come on. I do my best work on FanDuel during the football season, although
that
I'm
right?
a baseball guy. Yeah.
Wow.
It's unbelievable, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how people how it shapes up. I'm just hoping that nobody else gets hurt in the. I just hope nobody else gets hurt in the preseason. You know, they had this terrible football preseason, and they're talking about stretching it out even longer.
They're talking about stretching out the season even longer, and they're holding a lot of the guys out, like Jamal Charles. I do believe they said they're going.
Tony Romo hasn't played.
Yeah, they're going to let Jamal Charles, I think, play the last game before the season actually starts. Maybe.
Yeah, just to get loose.
Yeah, get a couple of reps, or a couple of other these guys like Thomas Rawls. You know, and I mean, football's a serious sport, man. You can't take a chance.
No, you can't
can lose
take
a guy
chance
for the whole season.
Yeah,
and just behind the preseason game, that's not worth it
at all.
Yeah.
At all. If you're going to lose them, you need to lose them in live action.
Yeah, you know what you have in these guys. So let some of these guys who are trying to get a job, you know, do their thing. Let's see where they are.
Yeah.
And then you can send them down to the B squad and pull them up later on, you know, once an injury happens, because you know they're going to happen.
Right. Oh, you know what? I think we got a longtime collaborator for the Ozone who's interested in calling in. Is it Trucker Dave?
Oh, nice.
Trucker Dave, live in the Ozone. How you feeling?
Still freezing. How are you guys?
That's what matters. Staying on top.
Better on top than on the bottom, isn't it?
So we got Trucker Dave. As a matter of fact, our oldest collaborator on the Ozone, our longest relationship, and most valued. Trucker Dave, we're talking NFL preview here. And based on what you've seen in the preseason and what you saw at the end of last season, what is it that you expect? Give me an NFL breakdown. What do you think about Aaron Rodgers and the boys coming back, Tom Brady and his suspension? Who do you have your eye on, and who do you think your sleepers are? Here's your take. Go.
Well, I like Aaron Rodgers, of course. Like getting Jordy Nelson back, so that should be interesting. I'm looking at Tom Brady's situation as more as a rest. You know what I mean? He's got the first 4 weeks off. It may even help him because he can just sit back and analyze the game from just not from a player's point of view, just from like a fan's point of view, and he may pick up a few things. So I wouldn't be surprised about that. But going into the season and in the offseason, I've been really interested in the Jacksonville Jaguars as my sleeper. Everybody's talking about Andrew Luck and his new contract, but I really think that Blake Bortles is going to cut down on the turnovers, and he's going to go to the next level. I like him almost better out of any of the young quarterbacks than anybody. He's my sleeper.
Wow. Now that's a serious that's a serious conversation.
I agree with him too.
Hey, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
That's why he's our chief NFL consultant on the Ozone. I mean, it's going to be interesting because I like what they're doing in all of Florida football right now. I actually got my eyes on famous Jameis Winston down there as well because I heard he came in, leaned up, and he's doing the work. I thought he had a great rookie season, to be honest, and I'm interested to see where he goes. I think Bortles and that squad, I think they're going to catch a lot of people off guard if he can cut down on those.
He'll cut down on them. I just feel like the problem with them is that they don't have a number one solid running back.
Yeah, this is.
Well, you got T.J. Yeldon and I forgot who else you got down there, but I really like the direction of Jacksonville because you got a lot of young studs on defense with Fowler. You got Jackson from Denver on your defensive line. I really, really, really like Jacksonville. Don't be surprised to see Blake Bortles light up the sky.
Yeah, and they have 2 number 1 receivers.
Yeah, they got hands across America and speed. Yeah.
And a tight end.
What do you think about the Skins? What do you think about the Redskins this year?
Well, it's going to be interesting with Norman over there. I like the fact that he's in the same division as Des Bryant. He is one of the few quarterbacks that can actually do well against Des. So for him going over to the Skins, that ought to be interesting. So I think Kirk Cousins can make the next step. They got a lot of young talent, so it's interesting to see what's really going to happen. You really have to wait with the NFL to see what's going to happen. I like Marcus Mariota's been impressing me in the offseason. He's got a young rookie receiver over there that I like also. So all this is going to be interesting. And the fact that Tennessee traded Green Beckham because he didn't run out a route all the way, and they traded him to Philadelphia, but he made a good block on the DeMarco Murray run that sprung the touchdown. So they're saying the fans in Philly are, they're pretty short-tempered, which they are. So we'll see if Green Beckham, being 6'5", can turn it around in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that kid's got talent.
That kid has talent. And, they have talent down there in Tennessee, man. They have talent in Nashville. But I went down there and went to a game. I think it was either last year or year before. It was last year I went down there and went to a game. Mm-hmm. And the culture didn't feel like they were serious about winning. In general, you didn't get that feel from them like you do when you go to a game and you're in the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room,
right? Where
winning is expected. Certain locker rooms, certain teams, certain cities, winning is just plain and simply expected, and anything less is chastised. It's not tolerated. Right. You didn't get that feel in Nashville. And another team that I'm worried about, that I wonder if they're going to have a bounce back, is the San Francisco 49ers and Colin Kaepernick. I've been hearing some good things about Colin Kaepernick, but I wonder if he can. I don't know if it's even bounce back, because I don't know how great he ever was to start with. I don't know how great he ever was to start with, but I think that he can potentially get back to some semblance, because he's had a lot of time off. I think it's a great point about Tom Brady, because Brady, anybody that can take time off and actually analyze a game, which every athlete knows, the game is different watching it from the outside it is than what it feels like when you're in it.
I remember Marcus Allen did the same thing when the Raiders weren't letting him play. And he went up to Kansas City. He lit him up.
He sure did.
Yeah, but a lot of this blame has to be blamed on the coaches in the NFL, because coaching has a lot to do with their game more so than any other sport. Yeah, and with these younger guys, they might not like their temperament, but they have to get adjusted to it, because this is a new generation, and you can't just keep holding them to the same standard of the older guys.
Top to bottom, how do you feel, NFC and AFC? I've heard good things about Colin Kaepernick. I'm interested to see what you think about the Seahawks. I'm a Raiders fan, and Denver still has D, and they got a very suspect offense. Let me know what you think about that, Trucker Dave.
Well, the West is always interesting, mainly because they are known for having really good defensive front and talented quarterbacks. But I'm hearing a lot of mixed things about Colin Kaepernick with his injury. And if he's going to play, he may not play until week 3. I really don't know. I think Russell Wilson, to me, is always a solid pick, because he's become a pocket passer, so you can't criticize him about running first and looking to pass. He's a pocket passer now. It's just the NFL is always interesting. You really don't know until the season starts. That's the best thing to say about the NFL. You don't know until the season starts. Denver obviously is going to have a great defense like they've always had. They lost a couple of pieces, but they're still going to be solid. I just saw Von Miller's new commercial, so he's happy he got paid.
He got paid, and then he got paid by EA Sports.
Yeah, so it all goes hand in hand, so he's going to have a really good attitude to play. And there's the Raiders. Nobody's really talking about the Raiders.
I am.
I don't know why.
Yeah, there's talent in place, and you just have to, with talent, just like I'm saying with Blake Bortles, you just have to give it a couple of years to let it develop, and then don't evaluate a quarterback or a particular player on their first year. Let them grow. Give them a couple of years to learn. But once they do that, then come back and judge them, But you look at the Raiders, when you have your quarterback, you have your receiver in place, you got a linebacker from Seattle, you're moving up.
Moving
That's
up.
what I look at.
Trucker Dave, we always appreciate your addition. You bring so much value to our program. Be careful out there on the road, and we will see you sooner than later in the OZone.
Well, sounds good. Love you guys. Take care.
You too.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Some great insight there.
Yeah.
Great insight. I really like out west is Arizona. I think if they can stay healthy, they can really make some noise this year. Picking up Chandler Jones was big, and I think that I anticipate they're going to be able to make some moves.
Like I said, to me, it always comes down to the coaches, and I don't know if Arian's the one to take them over the top, honestly.
I like Arias. I like Bruce.
Did you let Bruce hit it?
I think Bruce is down there hitting it right now. I think he's doing his thing. And, we got a longtime friend of the OZone down there playing for Arizona, Calais Campbell.
Yeah.
Big fella's out there. He's interested. He's focused. He told me. But
they have the talent.
They do. They do. You know who else has the talent?
Who?
The Gorilla. Ooh, if I could get my hands on one right now, just a refreshing beverage, Gorilla Life, 3 ingredients, water, chlorophyll, and agave. Ooh-wee, this is the best chlorophyll-based drink in the world, folks. I'm telling you. Rush over to GorillaLife.com, pick yourself up a supply, go over to Whole Foods. They're all over the place. You're going to see it. You're like, man, I heard about them on that OZone podcast. Gorilla Life. It can help lower your blood pressure, can fight the fight against diabetes, and it can clean you out if you eat too much of it. It's a vegan meal all wrapped up in a bottle. Or a bottle. Gorilla Life. Life in a bottle. Well, I want to get into this segment about our favorite thing. It's Major League Baseball, folks. These are the dog days of summer. It's showtime. Can you believe the Seattle Mariners are the AL best since the All-Star break?
Right?
That's unbelievable.
Not really. They're
finding
talent.
ways to win.
They have talent.
Yeah, but they always end up finding ways to lose. And this time around, it seems like they're finding ways to win.
Yeah, and that seems to be what the Astros are all about right now, finding a way to lose. Because the Astros in their division, really, I think they were the pick, right?
Yeah, they were definitely the pick going in the West.
But that division is tough now. Before it was a cakewalk. You have Texas. The Angels definitely, until they get rid of Mike Scioscia, they're not going to go anywhere.
You think Scioscia's the problem?
I've always thought that Scioscia was a problem.
Wow.
Because he doesn't, I feel like they preach team, but I don't feel like they play as a team. It's a bunch of individuals out there.
I think they have too many outfielders over the years, and
they've always had too many outfielders.
They love to sign outfielders to fat contracts
and first basemen,
and then then you don't have the money that you need to sign other guys, the pitching that you need. The Angels can have leads, and you can count on the Angels blowing the lead late if they have it.
And their farm system's depleted.
They were out drinking all night, and it's dehydrated.
It's gone.
They need some minerals.
They need some Gorilla Life.
They need an IV of Gorilla Life
because it's bad news for them.
It's bad. So sad.
But the Mariners look like the real deal, although that they're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere. Even though that kid Diaz, the closer, is legit.
Yeah, he is legit.
He's going to be something special over the next few years. I really like what he's doing.
But we're going to have to drop him in the fish grease and see if he can survive, because once the playoffs start and whatnot, if they can make it.
Staying out west but switching leagues, I'm still with the Giants. I think the Giants went through that rough patch, and I think they fought their way through it.
Right.
And they're going to come out a better team for it. They have their squad back now. You got Hunter Pence back. He's still trying to find his rhythm. Joe Panic, your favorite second baseman, is back.
I love Joe Panic.
They have a lot of
the proof is in the pudding, though. We're going to see.
We're about to see it this week, as a matter of fact.
They have 9 games left with the Dodgers, and the first one starts tonight.
And I can't wait. Ooh, I cannot wait.
It's going down. But Kershaw will be back in the next series. So
that's about 2 or 3 wins you can count on for the Dodgers.
At least.
Where the Giants probably won't score.
Yeah.
And let's move over into the Central. The Cubbies still banging them out. Still banging out those wins.
Yeah.
And getting that.
Do you see anybody? But the Cardinals are hot as well.
Now, this is the sleeper for me. The St. Louis Cardinals are an organization that knows how to win.
Yeah.
And they have turned it on.
They have a culture of winning.
They have a culture of winning, and they accept nothing less. And you look at that roster, you're not overwhelmed.
And they bring up kids from the minor league. Their system is not depleted.
To go.
And
let's talk about the kids who have been brought up over this past week. This past week,
might be here for 2 years,
right? This past week, your man Gary Sanchez was voted American League Player of the Week.
2 bombs last night.
Come on, man! This guy is legit. The Yankees did the right thing by making these trades and getting all these people. There's no 2 ways about it.
But he was ready last year. Yeah,
Gary Sanchez. But you know what? But you got to pay some old guy instead of letting him be ready and play. You got to pay some old guy,
and you have to blame that on Brian Cashman.
I could probably got to go with the owners, because Cashman has to answer to somebody. He was the one who finally convinced the owners that, hey, you know what, it might be time.
How did he do that? He probably said, you know what, these guys, I don't know. these guys are stinking up the joint. But he's the one who signed them. He signed all
I think you're on the wrong page
No,
there.
those two long-term contracts like that is too far. The guys age. When they age, they're not good.
Brian Cashman probably has more rings than every other executive in Major League Baseball. So your argument is cut short there because really the Yankees won up until recently. And truth be told, I have to give love to the Skip because Joe Girardi's winning out there with pretty much nothing all season.
Right.
I mean, very suspect lineups. The non-professional lineups were being put out for a good half of the games. And now he's got the youth movement. He's got those kids believing. Didi Gregorius having a great year.
Starlin Castro
having a bounce-back year.
They don't have any pitching.
They need some help. They got Tanaka steal deals on you.
Yeah.
And Sabathia will keep you in a game.
Sabathia will keep you in the game, but they got rid of that bridge that they,
well, this is the thing. They need some more starters. They got rid of Ivan Nova, which was a surprise for me.
Yeah.
But very disappointed in Lou Severino. I don't know what happened to him. Last year, he was a really serious
He's a kid,
pitcher.
though.
He is a kid, so maybe he'll go down and pull it together.
Yeah. Probably pitch in the winter and get himself together, go back home. Somebody will tell him, hey, man, you were doing this, you were doing that, and then he'll come back next year and deal.
Right. How about this kid, David Dahl, up in Colorado?
I'm so impressed with him.
Man.
He came up and he's putting on the show, dude.
He's putting on a clinic against great pitching.
Yeah.
Outside of Colorado.
Yeah. He's hit the good ones. Scherzer, Strasburg.
Yep.
I mean, you name it.
He's punishing them.
Yeah. He's putting up numbers.
Lefties, righties,
Come
whatever.
on, man. And his
Checkbook, credit card, more money.
And then a sucker could ever spend. Come on, man.
That's serious business. I still, you know what? I go back and forth. I like the Cardinals. The Cubs are just, you seem silly if you're even speaking against them, but I think that when the playoffs come, it's going to be a different world. And
Honestly,
I don't know if they're ready.
Right. And I
don't think John Lackey is going to do what he's doing.
John Lackey has a shoulder problem.
Yeah, John Lester pitched well against the Padres, so what's that? I don't think John Lester can hold anybody on, so they're going to run all over him when they get to the playoffs.
Right. Arrieta is
come back down to earth. So all that talk about him being as good as Clayton Kershaw should go out the window. And Max Scherzer.
Yeah, they have,
Kyle Hendricks is the best pitcher on the team, strangely enough.
And they have crazy offense, but offense
just in the playoffs, it just doesn't get it done.
And if you have to go against the Dodgers, if the Dodgers can get another arm.
One more legit arm.
And they can go head up if you had a 5-game series, a 7-game series, and you had to see Kershaw 2-3 times.
The longer the series is, the worse for you when you're playing against the Dodgers. Yeah. You got to see Kershaw a couple times.
Yeah.
Maybe even 3 times.
Yeah, maybe even 3 times, then they're not going to win because they don't have the discipline to beat him.
No. And if
nobody does though, but
it's not just about the discipline. He's superior. His stuff is superior right now.
And I don't believe that they're ready to hit good pitching like that.
And who do you think wins the AL East?
Probably the Nationals. Although Miami's looking. I mean,
wow. Okay, talk about the NL East.
I'm thinking about the AL East. I'll go with the Orioles.
Interesting. I don't think the Orioles got enough arms. I'm going with the Red Sox, like I've been going with the Red Sox since the beginning of the series of the season. I think Toronto falls apart soon. It's unfortunate because Joey Bats, I think, is going to cost himself a lot of money because he didn't really have a full season so far this season.
Right,
and he could have signed his extension. I like Aaron Sanchez, but he's going to get tired just because he's, I tell you who the sleeper is. He's not going to
get tired. He's not going to pitch.
Yeah. The sleeper, though, in the Central in the American League, though, the Royals are hot. The champs are hot.
They're hot.
They won 8 straight, and also they know how to win. I think they're short one starting arm, to be honest. But what I was going to say is, I like the Tigers. I wish the Tigers could do more. I just can't believe in them. I can't believe in them with Brad Ausmus at the head of that beast. Right. They got a crazy lineup, but again, they lose games late because their bullpen is suspect.
Because they have Francisco Rodriguez, K-Rod.
And not just him. He would be good if he could be your 8th inning guy at this point.
Yeah.
But you need a guy that's like a lights out kind of closer.
They have that kid, but they don't let him go. Hector Rondon? Is it Hector? Bruce Rondon.
Yeah, Hector Rondon is with the Cubs.
Yeah, Bruce Rondon.
Yeah, and he can sling it.
Yeah.
And then you have, and you know what? He's a guy I think that he doesn't have as much success because he's a closer. And he doesn't have he's not like an 8th inning hold guy. He's a closer.
Right.
I think that's when you'll see his best success. But jump to the National League East, which is what you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, the Nationals are looking great. But
the Nationals are great.
Yeah, but I don't think that they're running out of arms.
It's going to be interesting to see if
Joe Ross is down.
You can count on Max Scherzer.
Yeah, Strasburg's down.
And you know what? Thank God you can count on Gio Gonzalez. I'm happy to see Gio bounce back. He's a friend of the OZone, and Gio's having a pretty good season. He struggled for a spell, but it seems like he's got his mechanics back together, and he's attacking the strike zone.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of these guys this year struggled early.
Yeah. What do you think that is?
I don't know. Just like a rhythm thing, really, right?
I don't
know what they did, what they had done in the postseason. So these guys need to play often.
I agree.
And if you take time off, it doesn't work well for baseball. You can take a few months off, but, a lot of these guys play in the winter, especially players from the DR.
There you go. I mean, I think we should consult Ryan Lochte about what happened with these pitchers slow starting, because he gets out of the blocks and pisses on everything.
Piss on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is another spirited edition of the Ozone. Thank you for rocking with us. As always, keep yourself together, stay strong, stay happy. I'm going to leave you with a quote, not from Ryan Lochte.
Why not? He knows everything.
What does he know? I'll leave you with a quote here, folks. And it's just that be strong, because things will get better. It may be stormy now, but it never rains forever. Got that one off a Hallmark card. All right, folks, Ozone. I'm Big O. I'll catch you later.
Peace. Late.